in a moment. Steve Irwin will always be known as the crocodile hunter, but there's a young wildlife warrior in Perth who's hoping to follow in his footsteps. He wrestles real crocs, and as you're about to see, they have real teeth. Our cameras are there when Tim Mullany got too close for comfort.
There's definitely some real close situations.
All the time it worries me.
Bang! Watch Tim Mullany in action and you can't help but think of another khaki-wearing wildlife warrior.
Do you say crikey?
I don't, actually.
Today, Tim's taking a dip with not one, but two freshwater crocodiles, Rocky and Balboa.
This is the most exciting time to be here, eh? Because everyone just wants to see me get bitten by a crocodile.
Well, they're about to get their wish. In just a few moments, with our cameras rolling, you'll see what happens when a croc snaps.
So I watch the crowd and I'm in the background going, "Be careful, babe."
For Tim's fiancée Beth, falling in love with an animal crusader has meant taking a walk on the wild side.
There you go.
When I first met Tim, I was never an animal lover. I was actually really scared of them. He took me to the park and I'd scream at a kangaroo, and he took me in the dingoes and I was petrified.
Here they come.
The couple now run their own wildlife sanctuary south of Perth.
Hey, Aussie. Hey, mate, how are you? People kind of say when they come here, you know, they see the khaki uniform, so you trying to be Steve Irwin. Where's my boy? Come on.
It's easy to see why Tim is often compared to Australia's most famous conservationist. As a teenager, he worked at Australia's Zoo, where he spent 12 months in awe of his idol.
I was only 17 at the time, and I remember the first time he drove past me, he was riding his motorbike, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's Steve Irwin, you know, there's my hero.
When Tim turned 18, he told Steve he was leaving to follow in his footsteps.
I had told him I had a zoo that we were going to buy over here, and I actually was a bit nervous about kind of telling him, but the first thing he said to me was, nah, mate, like, that's awesome. We need to get as many places like that as we can, you know, educational centres, and just get it happening. So good luck to you, and, you know, I hope you go really well, you know.
Not everyone can be a wildlife warrior, but it's at parks like this that anyone can get up close and personal to our native animals. This cutie is called Crystal, and she's 10 years old. One cuddle and you're hooked. And that's exactly what Tim is hoping for.
We don't see if you look through a fence, you want to touch everything, you want to get up close and help things. And Steve always said when you help an animal, like when you get up close with an animal, you want to help it and all that sort of stuff. So that's our main goal at the moment.
This little one's cute as a button.
Yeah. This is Amber, and she's 6 months old.
Here at Marapana Wildlife Park, Tim and Beth are the proud parents of dozens of rescued kangaroos.
A lot of them have come from mums that unfortunately been hit on roads, and we've hand-raised them.
They are our children. We don't have children, so these are our babies.
Visitors can pat, feed and play with alpacas, roos or koalas. And for the thrill seekers, you can watch Tim wrestle reptiles. Tim knows the risks. He's already been bitten once before.
Everyone got a photo.
Will I give you a real nasty bite?
These guys here, she's probably got the capabilities of giving me just over 100 stitches.
It's just a risk that you have to take. He wants to save these animals and wants to educate Australia and get it out there. So that's the risk he's got to take.
And have a look at the colours going down his body.
From Baldivis to Borneo, where Tim and his mates travelled to make their very own wildlife doco, Irwin style.
Welcome to Sabah. Today we're on the Kitabatangan River.
It was incredible.
Luke Johnson was the man behind the camera.
Tim had me being chased by tiger snakes, like pregnant tiger snakes who were very aggressive, so you learn to keep a safe distance.
We snuck up on two bulls that were fast asleep. Our tour guide who was back on the river had given me a radio, which I didn't realise was on full ball, and he decided to radio us right when we snuck up on him and woke him up. Let's just say I've never run that fast in my life.
Back at the park, Tim's not fast enough to avoid his second croc bite. While wrestling Rocky, Balboa comes up from behind.
She got you.
He got me, I think.
He got you. Oh,
It's all good.
you all right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's normal.
It comes with the territory, does it?
Comes with the territory, yeah.
You're used to it.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's not every day you see a bloke be bitten by a crocodile.
That's what happens, eh?
You just take it, huh?
That's what happens, yeah.
Okay.
Despite the dangers, Tim reckons this is one job He'll never quit.
There can never be too many wildlife warriors, and that's what Steve's whole message was. We can all be. There's a bit of wildlife warrior in everyone.
Natalie Bonjolo tells us Tim needed 7 stitches to mend that bite.